Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking Tennessee whiskey. What?
No, it's actually bourbon.
What? Wait a minute, it's from Tennessee and it's called a bourbon?
Yeah, it's from George Dickel. Bam! This is Dickel bourbon whiskey, aged 8 years. So, this one, we've done a few Dickel products, and we have been kind of 50-50 on them. I know that it's a brand that some people love to hate. You and I are lukewarm on it. Some of them we've really liked, and some of them we have kind of detested.
Well, I wouldn't say some. Like, we did a flight because there's some rumors about, not liking the mash bill someone. Mm-hmm. And we bought and had several. Ooh, that's nice.
There's a monster cork pop there.
And we found that 4 of the 5 that we owned, we really liked. There was a particular mash bill called like special number 8 or 12.
It was the 12 one that was just garbage.
Whatever, and it was not great. But the rest of them we did really like. We recently did a review of a different bottle that had a really cool topper. Mm-hmm. I've always wondered why George Dickel doesn't put a topper on the top of their bottles.
Well, maybe you could 3D print one like you did with the rare breed one and submit it.
Just
to make the bottle taller.
Well, not that tall.
That's a great idea. You really should print one of those out.
That one may not go as well as the other one.
Leo will walk in halfway. They're like, what in God's name are you doing? Anyway, let's get back to the whiskey here. So as it says, aged 8 years, George Dickel, 90 proof. I don't know anything more about it than that. I don't know if there really is anything more.
You call it a bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
Without an E, by the way, in the whiskey.
Oh.
George Dickel bourbon. Why? But is it still from Tennessee?
Do you know why there's no E in there? Because they say, countries that don't have an E don't put an E in whiskey. So Tennessee doesn't have an E in the name of the state, obviously.
I understand, totally.
So yeah, they just wanted to release one that's a bourbon, which I don't even know why that would...
But this one is, they say it's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Appropriately.
Tennessee whiskey is bourbon. Shoot me, I know.
Yeah.
But, so it's kind of weird that they made this call it bourbon. So it's 8-year-old George Dickel.
Okay, and proof-wise, 90.
90.
8 years.
The nose is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Toasted almond.
Yeah, it's got kind of a toasty vibe to it. Nice brown sugar, a little nutty.
I'm getting a little bit of the ethanol kind of tickled in the nose thing.
We do tend to get a minerally vibe from
that
Dickel.
That one mash bill that we don't care for.
It's there a little tiny bit on this, but not much.
You're right, it is there a little.
Just a little bit, and that's because I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
So, let's get into the tasting here and see what happens. Cheers. Whoa.
Rich, complex.
Peppery. I'm getting like black pepper.
It has like caramel that is not sweet, and I know that doesn't really make sense, but it has caramel flavor, but not a lot of sugar with it, so it's kind of a weird note.
This is interesting. That first sip was
very, at the end, the finish does hint at cherry / Flintstone vitamin, but it is so subtle. And it's dry. Like you get a lot of wood tannins on the finish.
It is dry, yeah, for sure. I'm still getting the peppery vibes. This has a nice spice to it. I feel like the char itself is sticking out a little more on this. Not just like the wood sugars, but the actual char, the burnt.
Maybe they just use a different kind of wood. I realize it's oak, but maybe it's just different trees. How California has happy cows. Maybe they just have happy trees or something. And
That's probably what it is. That explains it fully.
my theory is they have like a different yeast strain that's giving that mineral note, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm starting to get that cherry. It's almost like cherry candy.
Cherry candy with a little bit of, well, I mean, there's a flavoring in Flintstone vitamins that I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not off-putting,
No,
but it's really noticeable.
I actually like this. That's pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna have a problem making my way through that bottle. Like I say that when I, buy a bottle and it's like, okay, you don't like it, and then it sits on your shelf. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, this is, it's
Now-
$32.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for an 8-year,
Sure.
that's not bad.
It is. Like, I definitely feel like, and I don't say this as an insult, because this has some really strong flavors in the wood spice and the wood char, and this weird caramel note without sweetness, I would like to make an old fashioned with this,
Sure.
where we're adding obviously more sugar
Yeah, I bet you that'd be really good.
and
in an
maybe some
old-fashioned.
cherry kind of flavor, like you add a cherry or whatever, orange rind.
Luxardo cherry, the
Yeah.
little Luxardo cherry juice.
Exactly.
That's how Jolene makes them down at Jay's Down Under in Buffalo, Minnesota. Check
Buffalo,
it out.
Minnesota. Hey.
Great old fashions. Are you noticing that this one, there's almost like the flavor is a little delayed? Like at first, I'm not really getting anything. Like you've kind of said, we've had some bourbons where it's like there's flavor and it just falls flat in the middle and then the flavor comes back. I feel like this one's kind of flat up until the finish, until you swallow it and then it just, there's like this wave of flavor, but there's nothing that immediately hits me flavor-wise.
So I get hit initially with caramel, but then it doesn't deliver. Like it doesn't bring the sweetness. It's just got like the smooth creaminess of caramel, but then it kind of dies off. And then there's a building pepper at the end, but it's building not very high because it's not super high proof.
Yeah.
But the one thing that carries it all the way through is the mature oak, which
Yeah.
is nice. But the one thing that could maybe help it, and that's why I suggested the old fashioned, is a little bit of sweetness. So
Yeah.
while I really like this,
It's not an overly sweet bourbon for sure. Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely more in that peppery, spicy,
yeah.
but not like rye spice.
No, definitely, yeah, not rye spice. It's wood spice.
This is interesting. This really is. I'm kind of shocked by this one a little bit.
Yep.
Like how different it is. But yeah, I'm getting all the flavor is like this wave of flavor on the back end of it.
I
That's
get
where I'm
some
getting
at the
all
front,
of that.
some at the back, and I kind of agree there's not a lot in the middle. And it is, well, it's not watery, but it is kind of watery for an 8-year. Like I typically expect a little bit more mouthfeel / viscosity.
Sure.
from
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty thin.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on
and
that
the
for
90,
sure.
90 proof doesn't help that.
Yeah. I'd like to see this at 100 proof. Greg.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think that'd be a monster. This isn't bad. I would recommend trying a bottle of this for $32. Absolutely. I'm not mad at that at all.
You found this locally?
Yeah.
Do you see it very often?
No, this is the only place I've ever seen it around here,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is I don't remember ever seeing it, but I don't look at Dickel products that much anymore.
Yeah, it came, I think it came to Minnesota maybe recently. It's probably one of those things. So, yeah, if you see a bottle of this, if you're interested, if you don't hate Dickel products.
Or if you tend to be put off by super, super sweet bourbons, I think
Yeah.
this could be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, this has been Dickel 8-year bourbon on the Bourbon Note. And Ben,
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.